Hi, my name is Fatima Abubakar, also known as Ummi, and I'm the owner of Ummi's Gourmet Food, which is a food service company, and we specialize in event catering, lunch orders during the weekdays, as well as food prep. To be honest, I never really saw myself as being a food entrepreneur when I started out. What happened was I had just moved back to Nigeria and I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do. I'm actually a pharmacist, a trained pharmacist. So I always envisioned myself as working in a hospital, doing at least administrative pharmacy, if not hospital or clinical pharmacy. So I was starting to make friends in Abuja and I met this lovely person called Anne. And I was a newlywed at that time. So I used to cook these elaborate meals, unemployed newlywed. So I'll cook all these elaborate meals for my family and post it on my blog back then. So eventually Instagram came out and Anne was like, oh, her 25th birthday is coming up, so I must do her food. So I, with no experience with catering, took on a 10-course meal for 30 people for her birthday. And the success of that event was really the first real experience I had cooking for other people to be paid. I mean, it was just 30K, but back then 30K was money, so it really made a difference. So that was the first step I took towards catering, and from then family and friends started pushing me, at least encouraging me. Actually, that's the word, not a push, encouraging me. And when I had applied for several pharmacy jobs and I couldn't find my dream job, I decided to give catering a go, and that was 2016. I actually started from my savings. Initially, it was from my NYSC alawi. I had saved up for about 6 months of my alawi. Was enough to get me my basic equipment that I needed, as well as using my own equipment from my own home. So essentially, it was that somewhere along the line, I think I took a grant from a family member, but it wasn't like the NYSC savings was my first capital. I think I actually have a passion for food. So whether or not I was doing it as a business, I would still be doing it for my home and for my family. So I think that keeps me going because food is dynamic, it changes, culinary trends change, people's interests change, new producers are coming out in the market. So I think there's always something to inspire the foodie in me, and that's what keeps me focused on this culinary journey. As Nigerian entrepreneurs, I'm sure there's so many, but me personally, I do not like it when people don't respect my time. I cook mainly continental type foods. A lot of thinking goes into my process. So when people don't have respect for my time, it really kind of pushes me up the wall, as well as keeping to their word, I guess. I think my first big break, I think I've had a few that I consider a big break. My first one would be 2017 when I had event planners approach me towards breaking into the wedding market. So I was able to cater for a wedding, and not the whole wedding, but for the VIP section. And I think that was my first big break. Yeah, I'm in the food business. You have several bad days, but I don't know which one stands out particularly. I think in the early days there was a fair I did, because I started out doing fairs. There was a fair I did where there was a rainstorm and it destroyed like all the food I made and I brought there was destroyed, and I lost a lot of money. I think that was my first worst day. But the truth is, like, in my line of business, if I have a bad day, I may have a bad day behind the scenes, but if the product that reaches the consumer is at its best shape, I'd cancel that bad day off. Okay, I wake up twice. My first waking up is at 5:45. That's because we have to wake up to pray and everything. And then I get my daughter ready for school. When she's gone, like 7:30, 7:45, I go back to bed again. And I catch another 1 hour and a half. But I come downstairs, which is my reporting to work, at 9:30 in the morning. And before I come down, I send my assistant, I have a kitchen assistant, I send her my routine. And so she knows what's going on today. This is what she has to prep before I come in. So by 9:30, I try to figure out how many orders we have, who are we supplying to today, and then from about 10 to 2 o'clock, it's full on crunch time. So we have to prep meals for people at offices that have lunches, and we have to prep for people who are expecting their dinners to arrive on time. So that's what I do from maybe 11 to 2 p.m. And then after that, it's sorting out logistics, delivery, who is going to deliver and how and where are they delivering to. So by 4 p.m. usually everything has calmed down, and I can plan the following day. What are we cooking and who has ordered so far? And we advertise. All our advertising is mainly on Instagram and Snapchat at the moment, but we're looking to come off the online market and actually grow into the real world. So that's our 2020 plans anyway. So in the evening, after 4 p.m. is when I have family time. So my daughter's back from school, I cook dinner for the family, a more low-key dinner, and then watch a movie with my husband, and then go to bed. I go to bed really late, like 1 a.m. and then wake up the next morning at 5:45 and continue the same routine. To be honest, I'm not one of those people that is calm under pressure. I need to be in control at all times. Not that I'm a control freak, not in my personal life, but in my business, I am a control freak. So what helps me is to preempt the pressure. Maybe not so secret, but I am actually a very harsh food critic. And because I'm a harsh food critic to whatever food I come across, I am my worst critic. So before I send anything out of my kitchen, I have to make sure I approve of it. And if I don't approve of it, it's not going. My assistant always laughs that I keep saying don't be stingy with the meat because I feel if people are paying for my food is considered maybe a premium kind of food. It's not something you would eat every day. So if people are paying for the premium, this will make their day. If you give them the best meal for the day, if this is the best meal they've had all week, you have to make it worth their money, and you have to make it represent the Ummi's Gourmet food name in a positive way. Okay, first of all, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a foodie, and I'm also a crafter. So I have so many areas, so many hats that I wear constantly, and sometimes I feel guilty that this whole food thing kind of blew up and left my other hobbies lagging behind. So I have this dream on my vision board where if I can get all my 3 key areas running and they can run by themselves, I can actually take a step back from the cooking. If it takes a life of its own, I can take a step back and focus on my other passions.